He's actually the youngest ever to compete in X Games at 11 just a couple of years ago, putting it down.
And we even he held up in hopes that the wind would die down, and then finally just said, "I gotta go."
So we've been talking about the elements throughout the day, but just break down the wind factor here in Austin right now.
Well, it's blowing directly against everyone as they jump. So basically that means flip tricks are out of the question. And then when they hit the quarter pipe, they're at risk of being blown out to the flat. So depending on how high they go, they have to adjust, and they have to assume that the wind's going to be there. And if it's not there, then they're going to go the wrong direction. There's a lot of elements at play here, but the only good part about it is that when they do certain tricks, they can push the board out to the wind and it stays on their feet, like that right there. You see how when he was pushing that backside ollie 360, he kept it against the wind as long as possible, but then he ended up going too far. Jake Brown. Yeah,
to further enhance what you're talking about, take another look here. Jake Brown, this is a trick that he knows well, but with that wind.
It's right about there. It starts to come off your feet.
Yep.
And he overshot the landing anyway.
So this is round one of America's Navy Skateboard Big Air. We've got 10 riders, each one getting 4 runs. We count the top score, and the top 5 athletes from tonight's round one will head on to the final. Here's Ronnie Gomez.
Oh, frontside ollie 360, he's got it. Oh. That's risky there with the wind, for sure.
Gomez making his 7th X Games appearance, still looking for his first medal. For a little bit more on the wind and the elements out here, let's head down to the 3rd member of our team, Alyssa Ronick.
Yeah, that first run by Jagger certainly did a lot for everyone's confidence. He was pretty scared, as you said, at first to drop in anything over 10. We've seen gusts down here from 11, 12, 16. Right now it seems to be holding at 10, and if you look at the right edge of the landing of the big gap, and on the top of the tower, we've got gyros up there that are reading wind. They've got iPads out here. They're able to look at the wind speed before every run. And for those of you at home, all you have to do is look at their t-shirts to see how much the wind is blowing up here.
Right, so there you see 10 to 16 miles an hour wind on top of the ramp. That was Trey Wood, our other 13-year-old. So right now, Jagger Eaton, the only one to land a run, and he is in first place with a 69.66. So coming up now, Edgar Pereira, no stranger to X Games, making his 10th appearance. He has a bronze medal in this event.
Oh, backside ollie 360, it's clean. Big 540.
Edgar Pereira.
That's what we call a full pull right there.
Sticking his first run here in round one. Let's take another look as he crosses the gap.
Going for the big gap too. That's the 70-footer. And then look at this melon 540. Such a slow spin when you're going that high. And, he works with the wind.
So Pereira's score coming in. Run one, a 75. We have a new leader here on his first run of 4. That 75 puts him into first place.
It's interesting because Jagger did a switch backside 180, which in a lot of ways is considered harder than a backside ollie 360. And then they both did McTwist on the quarter pipe, so I think that they were counting Edgar's height more than anything there.
Up next, another Brazilian, Itala Penarubia, making his 3rd X Games appearance.
Wow, big backside ollie 360 into a judo 540. Oh, yes. Throwing the Brazilian squat in the mix.
The crowd here at Circuit of the Americas loving what they're seeing.
I think that's going to be our best score.
No! Back-to-back runs made. A height of 17 feet, 7 inches on this one. Take another look over the gap.
I think that might be where his foot was. Look at that, just hoping the wind works with you there at the end.
And up off the quarter.
Right here, this judo. Look at this, how high he kicks up. 540. You can see him almost hanging up on the coping Which is strange because the wind would be blowing him, but you can see it's not blowing right there. So you see the flag. So he anticipated the wind, didn't get it, and then had to squat it out.
Interesting. So we await Penarubia's score, an 81. You are right, my friend. He jumps up into the lead. And let's see if these solid made runs are contagious after back-to-back go down. Dropping in next, the 17-year-old Michi Brusco. He's got 4 X Games medals, still in search of his first gold.
Whoa, Michi's going for a kickflip, backside 360. Very risky in the wind and for his first run. I would think he'd just want to set something down for the first run, but he's going all out.
Yeah, get the confidence going. Unable to do it there.
Tell me when I can.
Up next, though, the most decorated athlete in X Games history. Winter or summer, Mr. Bob Burnquist. He has 26 X Games medals, 12 of which are gold.
Oh, there's that switch backside 180 that we're used to. And then big Indy 360, which has won him this event more than once.
His very first run.
So I think that at this point is now his safety run.
So the 37-year-old showing you why he is king of this event as we take another look over the gap here. A signature trick from Bob.
Look at that. He's overshooting it, but still manages to keep his board on his feet the whole time. And then this Indy 360. I mean, most vert skaters are scared to try that trick low on half pipe. And Bob does it at 17.5 feet.
So looking back at that run, Tony, it's pretty familiar territory for Bob Burnquist if you look back to last year.
Switch backside 180, Indy 360. Switch back to 180, and he did 3 out of 4 times last year.
Now, Bob, we're not saying you're predictable, but when it works, it works. An 84.66, jumping him up into first place. Again, this is round 1. We've got 10 skaters, each getting 4 runs. We count the best score with the top 5 skaters moving on to the final. Up next, Tom Shar. He's got a silver, he's got a bronze, looking for a gold.
Wow. Big backside all 260. Look at him pumping right there. 900. Oh, yes! So clean. Look at that. 14 feet. Almost 15 feet. 900.
Tom Shar with the 900 on the quarter. All of 14 years old. Let's take another look off the quarter.
Trying to get more speed there and just deciding I'm going to work with the wind, whatever happens. But he didn't land that low, and it was clean.
He's one of the 4 guys in the 900 club competing here tonight. Ain't no thing.
I guess that's a bit of a low landing, but that's what he expected anyway. Look at, he spots it. He's still 8 feet up when he sees where he's going to land. That's amazing.
Insanity. By the way, he just graduated 8th grade. Tom Shar, run 1 score coming in, and 86 on the dot. We have a new leader. Welcome to America's Navy Skateboard Big Air here at the Circuit of the Americas. Brandon Graham alongside the legend Tony Hawk, and we're just through round 1 with 1 skater left to go. Tom Shar landing the 900 off of the quarter pipe, taking the lead, and dropping in now your defending gold medalist Elliott Sloan.
Elliott has been struggling with the wind. He told me himself. Usually that would be a flip trick over the gap there, but the wind's just preventing him from trying it. This is his signature tail grab 540, and he was anticipating the wind to blow him out further that time, and he didn't get it, so he had to just throw it away.
Right, Tony. So let's take a look back as Elliott Sloan unable to put his first run down let's show you how we got to where we are. As there you see Tom Schaar going up. Bob Burnquist full run.
And Bob went with his tried and true switch backside 180 into an Indy 360, landing backwards out of that trick. It's extremely hard, especially at that height. That exact run got him first place in 2008 and 3 times last year.
Familiar territory as we've seen that routine time and time again from Bob Burnquist. Look at the amplitude.
He doesn't grab that until he's 10 feet up.
Insane. There you see Jake Brown. No stranger to the podium here in Big Air, but Tom Schaar, our leader, all of 14 years old. The wind blowing like crazy. Put this down.
Look at that. Backside ollie 360 over the 70-foot gap. And then just one of the cleanest 900s we've ever seen.
Tom Schaar, already a member of the 900 club, one of only 4 guys in this entire field who has landed a 900, and he has our overall lead. Much more skateboard Big Air and Moto X Step Up when we come back from X Games Austin.
On site. On site. On site. On site.
So we're starting off from the top. Jagger Eaton missing his board there. So Jagger still trying to put a run down. That is his second. Again, each skater getting 4 tries at this. We're counting the top score with the top 5 advancing to the final. Up next, Jake Brown, who also had a throwaway in his first attempt. This is Jake Brown's 18th X Games appearance, by the way.
Have there been that many?
You would know. You've been here since day one, Tony.
Yeah.
Just can't get rid of you. Here's Jake Brown dropping in.
Whoa, almost overturning that backside 360. I mean, it's a big factorial just in the grab in the beginning.
So, Tony, if Jake is able to land that run, where do you think ballpark that score would put him?
You know what? I would say probably in 3rd there. I mean, that backside ollie 3 over the big gap is always worth a lot. And depending on how high he went on that retwist, I can't say though. I mean, it would be a toss-up, maybe like 3rd or 4th.
Well, again, we've got 10 skaters out here. They're trying to make it into the top 5 and move on to the final. So
Shaw's going out, and I hit it, and slammed my nipple.
Dang. Oh, hey, what's up, camera? Do you want me to, like, not acknowledge it, or just, like... That really isn't so open. Do some of these. Fix my helmet unnecessarily.
everybody. Welcome to X Games Austin 2014. My name's Jimmy Coleman, and we get to hang out up on top of the big air ramp with none other than Mitchie Brusco. We got a special treat out here today doing a Skype chat. We're going to talk to a few fans and take a few runs, right?
Hi, Mitchie.
Hey, what's your name?
Will.
Olivia.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What is the mega ramp to you? Would you get dizzy?
Yeah, you can get pretty scared looking down.
When you did the 1080, what was going through your mind before you tried it?
Is the wind gonna affect your jump much?
If the wind is a little higher, I'll roll in.
Good luck.
All right, thanks, man.
You want to take a run?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here, I'll take that. You don't want to roll? Do you want to roll down with that? Oh, you taking that? Okay. All right.
Mitchie Brusco always has time for the kids. Love that. He is a two-time X Games skateboard big air silver medalist. Still looking to add a gold to that cabinet. Speaking of guys searching for gold, our current leader, Tom Shar there. More big air when we come back. Let's send it back to Moto X Step Up with Tess Sewell and Jeremy McGrath. Here's Trey Wood, who's sitting in ninth.
Oh, 720.
Yes!
Got it, leaning back there. What a recovery. Wow, into a solid McTwist. Get a little Japan on it.
And the crowd goes wild. He needed this, Tony.
That was risky too. With the wind going against you on a 720, you could come up short very easily, and he landed just
Jerry,
past
being such
the,
a huge
danger
fan
zone.
growing up, what's it like being here now?
So solid though. Look at him, the way he sticks his back foot out.
Right.
Preparing for the landing, and then right there, he did a little lean back, but it was a nice recovery right into a McTwist at 14 feet 7 inches. That's going to put him up there.
So Trey Wood, an 83, jumping him up into third place with 2 more runs to go here in round 1. Up next, Edgar Pereira, currently sitting in 6th place, which, if the round were to end right now, would not advance again the top 5, making it into the final. This is the...
Oh, nice. Beautiful body rail, and once again, these guys anticipate the wind. If it's not there, they end up over the deck.
I mean, that's so much to ask, right, Tony? When you think about the wind at the top, the wind over the gap, the wind at the quarter, a lot of decisions to make.
Absolutely, and if you're relying on it, you don't know if it worked until right at this moment when you're spotting your landing, and you could tell he was way too far over the deck, and the wind just didn't push him enough.
So dropping in next is fellow Brazilian Itala Penarubia, sitting in 5th. He's in that bubble spot. Had an 81 on his first go. Let's see how he can jump that up.
Big gap. Whoa. These guys are really risking it with trying flip tricks over that gap, because once their board leaves their feet, it's just a sail in the wind. And they're just trying to muscle it back to landing position. Yeah, exactly.
So no score for Penarubia. Here's Mitchie Brusco, who wasn't able to land his first run. Again, you were a little surprised he didn't play it more conservative on run number 1. We'll see if he sticks to his same script here on his second attempt.
He might just have something in mind that he wants to do, and he's not going to let it go. And there it is. That kickflip, backside 360, and the wind is just sabotaging these guys on those tricks.
So Mitchie unable to land that there. But he's been a busy cat. Check him out on the vert ramp yesterday.
Last night, throwing new tricks too. 720 there, but he had a brand new move. He pulled into a combo.
Mom was pumped, and a bronze medal in vert. What a contest that was last night. So Brusco goes 0 for 2. He's got 2 more attempts here in round 1. And now dropping in, the man himself, Bob Burnquist, sitting in second.
And switch. Oh, there's that switch frontside 540.
It's close.
Was that? Oh no, that was just lean 540. I apologize.
So a close call for Bob there. He's sitting in second again. Of course, the top 5 advancing to the final. He's got a pretty good score to hold on to, but let's take a look at I'm gonna call this the Hall of Fame. Go right ahead. Most skateboard medals won in X Games history. Bob Burnquist, 26. Andy Mack right behind him with 23. PLG 20. Bucky 19. Someone named Tony Hawk.
Woo, I'm still in there.
16. You're still there, buddy.
Where are those medals? I don't know where they went.
So dropping in next, our current leader, Tom Shar. What do you do for an on-car when you land a 900 in your first run?
Another 720 and overshoot the gap. Evidently, that's what you do. And that's another case where the wind is pushing against them, so they assume they're going to come up short, so they over pump coming down, and then if the wind doesn't come, they just overshoot the entire gap.
So Shar will sit on his 86. And again, I just cannot say enough about the crowds here in Austin. From last night in front of the Capitol building to just sell out massive crowds for elimination events. The skateboard street elimination was completely packed out. Look at this. This is round 1 of Skateboard Big Air.
They want to see it, any of it. And sometimes, you know, you're gonna see, obviously you're gonna see people that you won't see in the finals, and these guys get to see everybody.
Here's Elliott Sloan, our defending gold medalist.
Oh no. That was frightening.
We've seen that go wrong from time to time. Elliott Sloan looks okay.
A little too far over the deck there.
So he sits in 9th. He's going to have to put something together on attempts 3 or 4 to jump up into the top 5. And just like that, we start back up from the top. 13-year-old Jagger Eaton, he's on the outside looking in right now in 7th place. He's got a 69.66. Landed his first run, really the first run of the entire contest. He's going to have to best that. Really, he's going to have to get into the 80s, above an 81, if he wants to jump into the top 5 and get into the final.
Oh, Jagger's just not going to hold back. He's going to try the 360 flip against all odds.
Let's take a look one more time over the gap here.
You can see as soon as it hits the wind, it starts getting blown back behind him, even up towards his head.
So up next, Jake Brown. As you can see, the elevator, if you've never seen Big Air and you're wondering how these guys get back up to the ramp so quick, just install an elevator. No big deal.
It is. I've ridden these where you had to walk back up, and it is the ultimate tiring walk of shame. It takes so long. It makes you that much more. It makes you so desperate to actually make it again, so you don't have to walk. It's not even a matter of like, I don't want to fall. It's like, I do not want to walk up this thing again.
Well, as we wait for Jake Brown to drop in, let's head down to Alyssa.
Yeah, guys, I'm feeling like Al Roker up here. another wind report. But as you can tell, the guys are going for a lot more difficult tricks, and that has a lot to do with the wind speed. Like I said, they look at that iPad before they drop in. I haven't really seen it above 9, and like we said earlier, Jagger, when he was waiting to go, was looking for that number to drop below 10, and it hasn't really risen. And as I'm saying this, it just hit 12, so we had a bit of a gust, but it's been pretty low. If 8 is pretty low.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Alyssa. We will check back in for our hourly meteorology report from you in just a little bit. There you see what we're talking about. Wind speed down to 9. It's got all the info you need there. Not sure the time's right, though. So Jake Brown, who's got 2 gold medals in this event, hasn't won since 2010. Of course, after that win, Bob went on a pretty historical streak before Elliott Sloan ended that in Los Angeles last year. But we know what Jake's capable of.
I think he wants that Ollie 720. He keeps poaching practice runs to try it, and Jake's one of the few guys that can use the wind to his advantage because he knows that it's blowing at him as he jumps. He can get his board aiming at it and keep it on his feet longer than usual, and that's what you need for an Ollie 720. But he's just going to go for the regular Ollie and overshoot the landing there.
So now Jake at 8th position, unable to land there, really putting pressure on himself to stick together a run on his 4th and final run if he wants to get into the top 5 and advance to the final. So here's Ronnie Gomez up next. He sits in 4th place. It's his 7th X Games appearance, still yet to get on the podium. We'll see if he can stay in finals position.
Oh, front foot Ollie 260. Looks good. So a big tail grab, 1-footer, 540. That seems like what he came to do right there. He was already basically qualified.
Ronnie Gomez, take another look over the gap, Tony.
Look at that. That is no joke right there. Frontside 360 Ollie is already hard as it is, especially on the Meg. He barely made the landing there over the knuckle, and then this tail grab, 1-footer.
15 feet 10 inches off the quarter for Ronnie Gomez.
That should bump up a score.
He's trying to best an 82.66, and he does just that, an 84.66, jumping him up into 2nd place.
So happy.
So a great run for Ronnie, and in the process, it bumps Penarubia into that 5th bubble spot. But up next, Trey Wood sits in 4th.
Oh, Trey over backflip. Looks like he had that one.
Wow, that was close. Trey Wood figuring he's got an 83. Play around a little bit. So while Trey Wood travels up, we take a look now at a guy who's on the bubble, Penarubia. He sits in the 5th spot. This is the run that got him this 81. So guys sitting in 6 through 10 right now. If you want to advance, you got to best that run. Penarubia sits in that 5th and final spot.
That's
heading into the finals.
That
crazy.
Gigantic shoot up 540 would get you on the bubble of making the cut at 17 feet.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I mean, he has the highest air out of all those guys.
Right.
And he's in 5th place.
Right. So here's Edgar Pereira. Speaking of outside looking in, he's sitting in 6th.
Ollie 60. Oh, stepping off.
go to Pereira as he stays in 6th place. That was his 3rd run. Of course, each guy getting 4 runs here in the first round. We're counting the best score. So 6th place is where he will stay. And up next, the young man on that bubble spot, Itala Penarubia. Can he best in 81? And the most massive air we've seen off the quarter tonight.
I think he's just going to have to do something else over the gap. Skid flips. No one's made a flip trick yet.
Yeah. Guys are apparently not listening to you in the broadcast.
And he's interested. Yeah, he is. But he seems pretty.
Thank you so much, Ted.